Pull up in the whip, feeling good, feeling out the hood, feeling getting money like a real one should. I'ma take a sip, get a little lit back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on 10.
And just like that, the 2023-2024 NHL preseason is underway. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Recap Reactions, and it is so great to be back. I am so looking forward to this season, regardless of what the outcome is, as always, because at the end of the day, I'm just here for some good old Jets hockey, and this was a great, fun first introduction to the preseason for this year. This was a fun, high-energy game that was really close that I did not have going into a shootout, and it's great. You know, the Jets win 2-1 in a shootout. You get goals from Dominic Toninato, and the final goal in the shootout for the victory coming from Cole Perfetti. And overall, just a really good team effort. This was a solid performance from a lot of different guys on this team. This is a really mixed squad. You know, we get to see Iafallo in his first game as a Jet, and I thought he played pretty well out there. Everything about this game, you know, Adam Lowry was good. This was, in my opinion, the perfect preseason hockey game because you saw every player at all the different levels in the organization playing at their best, in my opinion. You know, the AHL guys, they have played the best that you would expect them to play as. The NHL guys, for their first game, they were really warmed up, I felt like, and had a pretty good presence out there. And, you know, and sometimes in preseason, guys just use it as a warm-up opportunity and they're not really visible all the time. I didn't feel like that this game. I thought that everyone, you know, played their roles well, and for a preseason hockey game, this was as entertaining as you could get, in my opinion, outside of a bunch of goals, obviously. Delia making his performance tonight in the start for the first game for preseason, and he was fantastic. Like, this was a guy I was not looking forward to when we signed him, and then here he comes into the first game, and, you know, we played pretty well. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to be our starter just like that, but again, it's just nice to see everyone that's coming into this roster onto this team. I think this is like Team Numanen, if I'm not mistaken, or Group Numanen for the preseason for the two teams, and I liked everyone's role on this team. Everyone seemed to fit well. They rolled with the coaching. The lines were well. I really liked that fourth line with Lambert and Zilkin, with Cheburkov as well. If I'm not mistaken, that was the first time Zilkin and Cheburkov have played hockey since the first time they were like 9 years old, because they were teammates back then. So that's a good little bit of history, and you saw that chemistry out there. And that was just a fourth line out there full of guys that you really aren't going to expect to make a huge impact for the Jets this year, but it's just nice to see for the future and as well for the Moose, you know. And I just really liked this game. It was just fun compared to the Young Stars tournament. It just felt really unpolished and rusty. It really felt like almost like beer league at times. It really felt like tournament style hockey. Like there really wasn't anything, you know, to play for. I know that second game against the Canucks had a good comeback in there, but outside of that, it really didn't feel like, you know, a great start, I would say, for any of those players. And in this game, it definitely felt like everyone had something to show. And, you know, I think you got that outcome, even though, you know, obviously this Oilers team, you know, it was pretty skilled as well, I would say, out there, having some good starters out there and NHLers. But I just really liked the effort from the Jets tonight. Like, everything just seemed to really click. Everyone, like I said, bought into their roles, and the lines were really powerful. I think the coaching staff did a really good job at mending things together and assembling lines based off just a few days at camp and what they already know off the chemistry, and it seems to be working. So, you know, it's just refreshing to see. It's just fun to have hockey come back and not to be this boring game of massive amount of penalties back and forth and just terrible power plays and rusty passing. Everything about tonight was fun. The goaltending was good. You had good forward matchups. You had, you know, good offensive play. The defense was great. Everything about tonight was just fun for preseason. Like, for meaningless hockey, this was a pretty damn fun game that I was invested in. And at the end of the day, that's all I can ask for from a preseason game, especially when it comes to the individual performances. Everyone played great tonight. And, you know, I don't look at the real standouts, I would say, would honestly be Delia. I think he had a fantastic game. I liked Perfetti a lot out there as well, the center spot. I liked that fourth line, like I said, with all those young guys on there. I thought they played really well, and obviously they had areas in their defensive zone that I would say were unpolished, you know, areas of their play. It definitely wasn't their strong suit, but when it came to offensive zone entries and just, you know, puck possession in the offensive zone, they were rolling tonight, and I love seeing that type of stuff from the young guys. Is really exciting for the future. So, you know, that type of other skill, the defensive end, is going to come with experience, and hopefully they will get that experience in these 6 games for preseason if they continue to dress in. And I think there's a good chance that these guys will get at least 3 to 4 games before they're probably sent down, but we'll see what happens. But again, I really liked this game. Everyone fit in well. Dominic Toninato, a guy that, you know, we've seen on the Jets, we've seen in the playoffs, and we've seen on the Moose, and he had a great game tonight. So again, with the depth that the Jets have, just showing that, you know, what they have potentially going into the season on what they might need to call upon due to injuries. So just, again, great stuff to see. Everything about this game was just fun, and at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. So, you know, there's nothing really too much to get into. I thought the roster lineup was great. Looking forward to the game tomorrow on Monday. And again, for preseason, the big things I want to see is I want to see how Velarde's going to play. Iafallo, I thought, played really well tonight, but I want to see how these new guys mesh with the existing forward core. I want to see how Scheifele is and all that stuff. I want to see the mentality with Scheifele and Kyle Connor. I'm just curious to see things like that progress through preseason as we get closer to the start of the regular season. And I'm also very interested on the defensive side of things because Declan Chisholm tonight was fantastic. The Villahinola was really good out there tonight as always. So, you know, I think that there's a really, you know, big discussion coming up about what type of guy should be getting a look because Chisholm is not going to be waiver exempt now. So that could be a huge loss to the Jets. You know, you already lost Kovacevic last year to the Habs after a strong preseason. So I just don't think that they want to go through that again. So there's going to be a lot of interest in that area. And again, just this preseason's always got some interesting threads to follow. And with the defense, with the forwards, who's going to get what opportunity and how these new guys are going to fit, there's going to be a lot to be excited for. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't already, stay up to date with all things Winnipeg Jets hockey as we get through this preseason and into the start of the regular season. So thank you guys so much for watching. Follow all the links down below and follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all my thoughts when I don't have time to post them into a video. And that being said, peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. I will see you for tomorrow's game reaction. Can't wait. And yeah, it's great to be back. Welcome back to hockey season.